the WWE. Everybody needs a way of introducing themselves to the WWE fans because it's a bigger crowd than down in Florida for NXT, and obviously the fans really don't know who you are. Not everybody watches NXT. Most wrestling fans only watch the major shows like Raw on Monday nights. Some people don't even watch SmackDown now on Thursday and Wednesday nights in the U.S. and Canada. So not very many people probably knew who Summer Rae was, so I understand the logic behind bringing her in as the Fandango Girl, kind of as an introductory role. As a WWE character, once fans became familiarized with her from WWE, some fans carried over from NXT and watched her on WWE, but once WWE fans became familiarized with that character, then they were able to put a name on someone like Summer Rae. And I got to be honest with you, the fan base for Summer Rae got big really fast. Fans started chanting for Summer Rae even when Fandango was a heel. So it was an effective way of introducing her, and I was really happy when they broke up Fandango and Summer Rae. It's one of the biggest breakup stories of the year. They broke up about a year and a half ago, and I think it was great for her because Summer Rae got a chance to branch out on her own and show us what she could do away from people like Fandango. They didn't immediately pair her up with anybody. It took them a while before they found somebody to pair her up with. Currently, right now, she's in a program with Rusev, teaming up with him against Dolph Ziggler and Lana, only because, not a big fan of this either, because it's only because Rusev needed somebody to feud with Lana and carry over from what happened between Lana and Rusev when they went to Splitsville, after what happened, of course, with Rusev losing the United States Championship and the fallout from WrestleMania 31. So that's the only reason Summer Rae is in the position that she's currently in right now with Rusev, feuding with Dolph Ziggler and Lana, and kind of a mixed tag team scenario. Not a really big fan of that. Once she gets away from that, she's going to go back to wrestling all the time, and I'm going to be a really big fan of her wrestling all the time because I think that's what Summer Rae needs to do, and that's really where Summer Rae can showcase her talent as a wrestler in WWE, because that's where the talent lies with someone like Summer Rae, and this is where you're going to get an easy 10 years out of someone like Summer Rae. She's got to get an opportunity to get that ball and bounce it in her court, and when she gets that opportunity to bounce that ball in her court, great things are going to happen for Summer Rae. It may not be in the way of a Divas Championship because her skills aren't up to par with Divas champions of the past like Maurice, AJ, Michelle McCool, the list goes on, but I'm not saying that she's not going to get there to the point of being Divas champion, because I think everybody gets an equal opportunity and chance to prove themselves, either prove themselves to be Divas champion or to get that opportunity to be Divas champion. It's one of those championships, in my opinion, that fluctuated in years prior to 2014, 2015. It doesn't seem to fluctuate as much now because we have a bigger roster of WWE Divas and NXT Divas who get an opportunity at that championship, and there are minimal opportunities handed now because of the bigger rosters and the expansion in the divisions of WWE's Divas division and WWE's NXT's Divas division back down there in Florida. So with a bigger roster, the championship doesn't seem to fluctuate as much. So when somebody gets an opportunity to either compete for the championship or be champion now, it is a tremendous opportunity. And if Summer Rae gets that chance to be either number one contender and compete for the championship, even if it's in a way of a triple threat match or a fatal four-way match, or to be champion, even if it's just for 2 or 3 months, at least it'll be a milestone reached for Summer Rae, because, I mean, what much more is there for Summer Rae to do? She's not going to be a valet/manager for forever, because that's something of the 90s and early 2000s that's really died out in professional wrestling. Managers and valets are a thing of the past. It's not the 1980s or 1990s anymore. It's not the mid-90s, 96 through 97, when people like Sonny and Sable were managing people like the Smoking Guns, the Body Donnas, and Marvelous Mark Marrow. Those days of wrestling are over, and what people want to get out of women now in wrestling are actual wrestling matches that actually are worth talking about. And because we don't have Trish Stratus and Lita anymore to give us wrestling matches that are worth talking about anymore, we have to rely on the new talented initiative divas who are really putting their talent out there and showing us what they can do inside of the ring. And I wish Summer Rae was given more of an opportunity in the way of an AJ Lee to showcase her talent, because she's just being used as a put-over girl for episodes of Main Event on the network. I mean, she's just putting over divas who may be in line for an opportunity at the championship, either on Main Event or Saturday Morning Slam as part of a block on a syndicated network in the United States and on Saturday mornings. So in my opinion, being used as a put-over girl or a manager or a valet in the way of a Fandango girl is really underutilizing the talent that goes with Summer Rae, because believe me when I tell you, there is a tremendous amount of talent that goes with someone like Summer Rae, and it's been undermined for far too long now, and it's been underutilized. Both undermined and underutilized are the words I'm searching for here to put in perspective for you what they are doing with Summer Rae. And the thing is, Summer Rae is not the only one that they are underutilizing in the Divas division. I mean, look at Emma. Emma was brought in with so much promise. She didn't immediately be paired up with Santino Marella, but the only reason they paired her up with Santino Marella was because they had nothing for Emma to do. She came out with this dancing gimmick. She has an international feel, being from Australia. In my opinion, she could be wrestling in the way of a Naomi and be number one contender for the championship because of the skill that Emma showed us on NXT and showed us ever since coming in out of WWE, but for some reason, people like Emma and Summer Rae are in matches for main event, and they're just Divas matches for the sake of giving us a Divas match with one of them getting over. It's either someone like Emma or Summer Rae always losing out of someone who's ultimately a bigger name in the Divas division, like a Layla. For instance, if they're in the UK and Layla's wrestling, she'll be in a match against Emma, and Emma will drop to Layla, because Layla is known for being a diva that's been there for a longer period of time, and she's from the United Kingdom. Why couldn't they have put over Emma? Emma's the newer diva. Emma's someone who you need to introduce to the WWE, and that's where my issue lies with the WWE Divas division. I mean, the newer divas are the ones dropping all the time to people like Layla, who's been there since 2006. Just because she's from the UK, you had to put over Layla because she's more of a known name, and she's done more. Why not couldn't you have put over Emma in that match in the UK in the edition of main event you did for that week? You were in the UK. That really pissed me off there, and it's pissed me off a lot of the time how WWE treats the bulk of its women. Make no wonder so many women come and go in the wrestling business. You take, for instance, Stacy Keibler. When given the opportunity to do something outside of the wrestling business with Dancing with the Stars and ABC, she took that opportunity. Tori Wilson, Trish Stratus, Lita, they all took the opportunity to be reality stars or do something outside of wrestling with television and entertainment. And more divas are going to do that in the future, like the Bella Twins, movie roles, sitting on the table or being thrown out there for the Bella Twins. One wants to go home to have children. I understand that, because you can't really be put over in the Divas division anymore because it's the same 3 or 4 all the time getting that opportunity. You take, for instance, this program with Paige trying to rally the Divas division against the Bella Twins. Where is this going really? Where has it gone? In recent weeks, it hasn't gone anywhere. How come Summer Rae isn't involved with this rallying of the Divas division against the Bella Twins? She could be a perfect heel character. But WWE are putting her over as a fan favorite, who's getting over as a fan favorite, but not being given the benefit of the doubt, which I really, really hate. You need to give someone like Summer Rae the benefit of the doubt. If you're putting her over, at least put her over in a far more effective way than what you've been putting her over. I hate how WWE are just having her drop all the time to people who they believe have a bigger future and a brighter future than what someone like Summer Rae does. I mean, newsflash, guys, you're not always going to have a Kelly Kelly or an Eve Torres to rely on in the Divas division, and because you're not always going to have divas like Kelly Kelly and Eve Torres to rely on, you need to create divas who kind of present that same kind of feel of a Kelly Kelly, and in my opinion, Summer Rae kind of resembles Kelly Kelly. So much it's really frightening because of the skills, and just the look of someone like a Summer Rae puts me in mind of Kelly Kelly. Now, she's far from a Kelly Kelly in the way of experience, because Summer Rae has more experience and is more skilled inside of the ring than Kelly Kelly was in 2006, 2007. I mean, it took Kelly Kelly literally forever to develop her skills and become something bigger in the wrestling business, to be honest with you, and that really pissed me off too. Because we were waiting for forever for Kelly Kelly to break through, and when she finally broke through, Kelly Kelly went on to become something ultimately far greater than what critics believed that she would. But the thing about Summer Rae is, even though she resembles Kelly Kelly as much as what she does, Summer Rae is being brought into WWE with far more skills and better wrestling ability, which is something I give WWE creative and developmental a tremendous amount of credit for, because at least now they're not just throwing women out on the product just for the sake of having women a part of the product in the way they did Kelly Kelly or Eve Torres, and took them years to develop their skills. You know, Kelly Kelly was kind of on again, off again inside of the ring, and she was being used as a put-over girl for years, and Summer Rae's being used as a put-over girl. But the thing is, Summer Rae came into WWE a couple of months ago, and she has so much skill that she's good enough to be in the position of being a number one contender for the championship. And it's beyond me why WWE haven't given her that opportunity. Yes, they throw her in the ring for the sake of making up a diva in a battle royal, or a fatal four-way, or a 5-on-5 divas tag team match, or an 8-on-8 divas tag team match, a 10-on-10, whatever the case may be. For a while there, a couple of years ago, showcasing the Divas division, speaking about 5-on-5 or 6-on-6 Divas tag team matches, that seemed to be the thing with these Divas matches. You're having 4-on-4, 5-on-5, 6-on-6 Divas tag team matches, and everybody was being given an equal opportunity to be in the ring, and I hope they keep doing that in years to come. That formula really seemed to work. So at least if you have, say, a 5-on-5 Divas tag team match and you put Summer Rae on one end of the team, that would be an amazing opportunity for Summer Rae to showcase her talent and have her get the pin for her team in a 5-on-5 Divas tag team match, along with all the other Divas making up the teams in the match. But like I said, they're just using her as a put-over girl or a Diva to make up a Diva in a Battle Royal or a 5-on-5 or a 6-on-6 Divas tag team match. Although it's not a way of putting over Summer Rae, the only good thing about it is she's getting the opportunity to showcase her talent, which, believe me, she has a lot of talent. And I think that she's just being undermined and underutilized, and she's been undermined and underutilized for forever. Am I wrong in saying what I have about Summer Rae? I really don't. I don't know who writes her gimmick because I don't like her catchphrases. Summer School's now in session, about how WWE is going to have an infection of summer. I don't like her catchphrases. I want to know who's behind her writing and her creative way in WWE because I really don't like her creative direction. I liked how they brought her in as a ring announcer on NXT and everybody was oblivious to how Summer Rae could actually wrestle, and when she turned on Paige, nobody saw it coming, and then she made her debut on NXT and stayed with NXT for a number of months before getting a call-up to WWE, and then she appeared as the Fandango Girl, a role that a lot of divas actually wanted. In the WWE, I know I'm a victim of criticizing the Fandango Girl role, but people like Ava Marie believe they could do it far more effectively than the divas that were given the opportunity to be Fandango Girls. Several of them were used as extras. Some of them were given the title of the Fandango Girl. Summer Rae was one of them, and I know from a lot of the commentary that was given for Total Divas, a lot of divas wanted that role of being the Fandango Girl, and it goes back to the exposure they would get on WWE television. I know Ava Marie was big on being a Fandango Girl, along with many other divas of the new talent who were never given